DJ House Tank, Sandokan Special.
de Choma, état de Jeanne. Mais le Gondiola,
LIBERIA. Ongane mbei, proporusu kuona LIBERIA. Ongane mbei, duro tape makuria, mwapa ya seba. Onana ayama lokolo mwane sikolo mwaye posane krikuya moleu. Lokolo tolie borusu ku. Suku ogere yo, amaya lokolo biete solo itidoro.
Good evening, folks. Samson Toll, Lebanon Public Radio. We want to welcome all of you again this evening. We say thank you very much for joining us. We're going to have a wonderful show here. Starting up, we're going to have a new program here tonight where we have our own man, Mr. Emil George, who's going to be joining us to do some analysis on our program here and see what we're going wrong and what have you. And he's going to be speaking his mind as usual. He doesn't hold back. He tells you exactly what it is. So I'm going to enjoy this here tonight. We want to put that out front quickly. We want to thank all of you again this evening. Thank you very much. Things are getting a little bit better in Liberia, but that's safety, folks, safety. Please take care of your car, and your car will take care of you. And we also ask you to please take care of yourself. As you know, we all love you. And it's a happy holiday for all of us. Those of us that didn't go to work, we say thank God. Not thank God that we didn't go to work, but thank God that we're still here and ready to go to work tomorrow. I want to thank all of you again for joining us this evening. Let's get the program started. Samson Toll, Lebanon Public Radio. As usual, this is the President of the Republic of Liberia, Dr. Weah. Dr. Weah is the President of the Republic of Liberia. And what? My picture now showing on the center and Dr. Weah all over my stuff. Of course, he's our duly elected president, but it doesn't mean he should take over my entire show, folks. That's not what we do here. This is Samson Toll, Lebanon Public. I need to be in the center. What am I way in the corner? I'm scared of Dr. Weah or what? Samson Toll, folks. I just want to thank all of you again for joining us. We're going to have fun. Folks. President of the Republic of Liberia is here. As you able to read my stuff, it's going to be a very hectic one here tonight. I'm going to be looking way ahead and while everybody else is trying to fall behind, I'm way ahead looking 2023. It's going to be my commentating here tonight is going to be interesting. I'm not asking you to agree with me, but just give me an opportunity to express it and see if anything makes sense to you. That's all that I ask. And then we move on. The next one is the president of the Liberia, Dr. Weah, during the election when he was walking in the mud. Let's listen in here as Dr. Weah walking in the mud and say, I don't need my king. I don't need for anybody to hope I need my steak. And watch him walking in the mud. Now, the reason that I'm doing this is for some reason the operation of road connection is slowed down a little bit. I'm not too sure why. But of course, with all of the hectic situation with gasoline and money drying up and what have you, what do you expect? And let's watch this video and then I'll come back. Samson Toll, Lebanon Public Radio.
Let's make sure you do that same thing for you can hold. We're going to junior that before. No, I beg you.
I go man,
the German system will live over. I think it's finished. Salome said, not done.
That was Dr. Weir walking in the mud. Let's move on. Let's move on to the next video. The next video where Dr. Weir is going to tell us now why is it that he's doing the raw business in Liberia. And I know other people have criticized it, that in the mix of hunger and everything else, why is he concentrating on raw? And I'll just show you perhaps some of the reason of he concentrating on raw. Let's watch this video. Why he's going to tell us why is he interested in this raw business. Let's listen. Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio.
This is the right thing to do. Our country, it doesn't matter how many homes in Gambia, if no roads to connect, it's not completed. So I am happy with my road projects. From the capital to the hinterland, I will continue with the road projects. Anyone that will come after me will find something else to do. But I think that Liberia, being the first African republic, also needs a road network. And this is what we're doing. You don't need to tell me that my responsibility. I need to thank you for making me to serve the country. This is the right thing to do.
You don't need to thank me. I really appreciate it. According to him, you don't need to thank me. If anything, I should be able to thank you for giving me the opportunity to do the raw business in Liberia. Now, this other video, as long as I continue to play these videos, this one video is only about one or 2 seconds, but I will continue to play it because I hope that our brothers and sisters will find reason to be able to work, be able to prepare themselves. If you can't do the job, get out of it. But here the president already giving the people the project. They're doing the road construction. And overnight, it appears that the telephone, the electric pole appears in the middle of their construction site, which is not the case. However, they decided after 75% of their job is being done, they come to find out that there is obstacle, and that obstacle is the light pole, LEC pole in their construction site. Folks, now I know those of you that are not construction people, not engineer, but yet still you're able to manage yourself and your family at home. You tell me, when you get up in the morning to put clothes on to go to work, where do you start? Oh, I forgot. In Liberia, where do they start putting clothes on? Shoe first, pants last. By that time, they're already in the street. It doesn't make sense. You're in the middle of construction, and you're telling me, after 75% of completion, now you're telling me LIPO is in the way. Let's listen to this, and you'll see. But these are some of the reasons why we continue to face these unforced errors from the government. Because there are people who are working within this government. Now, perhaps I'm not questioning their educational level, nothing, far from it. But their ability to function, their ability to carry out certain things. And there's been some positive reading that I've been seeing lately. Writing that I've been seeing lately about Liberia. There have been some positive issues. There are those brothers and sisters who have the ability to move this country forward, but they are not being showcases. They are not being showcases. In other words, they just do a little bit and people don't talk about that. You have to dig on and dig more before they come to light. Only those that can perform, they're the one in the news all the time because they're making so much noise. because their inability to perform, they try to distract the president by finding enemy of the state. They make so much noise. But Liberian cannot be fooled anymore. That's one thing I want everybody to understand. Whether you're in the government or you're in a private business or whatever you are, whoever you are, the Liberians of today are not Liberians of yesterday. The young Liberians are sophisticated. I keep telling you, I keep reminding people, you don't want to listen? It's on you. Don't be surprised tomorrow. Because some of the young sophisticated Liberians, sooner or later, they're going to be in power. And don't come back and say, oh, where they come from? No, they've been here all along. But Samson told and continued to warn you that these young people will not take the back seat, and at the same time, they're not going to be fooled. You can't fool them. You have to be truthful. Whether you do wrong or not, you have to be truthful and let them make the judgment based on your truthfulness, based on your transparencies of your action. They themselves, because they're sophisticated, they also are human beings. The young sophisticated Liberians, they are human beings. They know what it is. They're not perfect either. But if you come across as being condescending, you come across as being lying to them and not being truthful, and then you get caught and you expect them to say, now, let's move on. That's difficult. Then it makes a lot of noise. And I'm warning you, these young Liberians, they're all over the diaspora. Some of them are even back home. They are not going to take it laying down. And that's why you always have these issues. Unforced error, like the gasoline situation. How many times they try to lie about it? Knowing fully well Liberians are watching. Knowing fully well Liberians are already up to this, to whatever it is that they're lying about. But yet still they insist that their truth, I call it alternative truth. Oh my goodness, have we heard that before? Alternative truth. They decide that the government will always want to bring up alternative truth. Well, guess what? This is not your town. You can't bring alternative truth to the young Liberians. They are sophisticated. They will catch you quick. Let me go ahead. So here is this man in the middle of a construction. He comes out. He said, oh, but the LIPO in a way. The president, he himself, not knowing and having no clue on construction or engineering business, said, oh, but LIPO in a way. And then the minister of public work, instead of jumping up and down, try to, in a very low tone, yeah, the LIPO in a way. What? LIPO in a way turn like this? Let's listen. I will continue to play this video, and if I go to LIBERIA, you want to catch me? You'll catch me. Come in. I will be there. I come into LIBERIA. I come in. And you want to catch me? You'll catch me. I'll play the video. I'll play it. But what the video say? Oh, all the noise I'm making. I don't even put a video. Samson. I love it when I do that. I put everything else up. Okay. All right, folks. Samson told LIBERIA on public radio. He just got an egg in his own face again this morning. And I'm not embarrassed. Far from it. You've seen it before. I'll still play it, folks. Let's go ahead. In the meantime, I know you have seen this video before. As I describe it to you, exactly what it is. It says the man in the middle of the construction and the president is asking. They're telling the president there's a LIPO in a way. And the president is saying, what? LIPO in a way at this time? I'll play that video. But in the meantime, let me go on to my main subject matter here tonight. I'm not making it up. It's there. I'm serious. And I'll bring it up. But let's go to my main subject matter here tonight, folks. Before I go on to my main subject matter, another issue here that is affecting, as you can see, my voice is getting a little bit deeper. Things are serious, that's why. There's this young journalist that died recently. And lots and lots of people are calling for investigation. Samson told, and the conversation with Samson told will hold my peace until these investigations are carried out. One of the things that I do know, most likely the investigation is not going to go anywhere. If at all the government initiate any investigation. Because there's so many investigations that have been called for and nothing has come out of it. No result. They initiate investigation and we haven't gotten serious result yet. I'm not saying that the government is incapable of producing results. Maybe these investigations take time. Maybe there are so many things involved. They want to make sure that when they bring the result out, that people will know that they're not biased. People will know that they're very transparent. And so maybe they take time. I agree. We'll wait. But the young journalist, before that, he made some report to the the press union of Liberia that he was attacked and brutalized by the security guard of the president. And they wrote, according to the story, wrote to the security guards to respond to this guy's allegations. And apparently there was nothing. They didn't come up with any information. Now the young man is dead. Now, let's look at it. One or two things. I'm not going to spend much time on it. Like I said, I'm going to wait until the result come in. Then I can do my analysis or do my monologue on it, because I don't want to get in myself. I get ahead of anything else. I will wait. But these are very painful times. But you see here, I'm talking on the radio. You see, I'm talking on this thing. So, I mean, this man does the same thing almost, except he's much, much way ahead of me. Okay, that was his profession. I mean, that's what he did throughout his life, pretty much. So, but for him to die, other people's speculations are that he was sick and he died from the disease. Speculation, and he was, because of the brutalization he got from the government agency, he died from that. But it's just a coincidence that after getting brutalized, in less than 3 to 4 months, he's gone. So I don't believe you will, if any other person among us who have a different logic, then I think we need to question that logic. If you can't, nobody asking you to come on with a conclusion, because I'm not going to conclude anything here. But at the same time, the coincidence is just too much. So the government need to do something, if at all. First of all, was there any evidence, or was there anything to this fact that he was brutalized by the security agency? And according to the report, he's coming from the field. According to the report, coming from the county meet, and they asked him to wait because there was some dignitary that was coming from the field and was going want to get on the road. So he parked and waited. And when he found out that there was no more people coming in or some sort of a convert, he decided to get on. And they grabbed him, according to the story, and brutalized him. Now, there could be that something more than that. Because we Liberians, we can come up with any kind of thing. So the best thing the government can do for all of us, since the government up to this point, the press union of Liberia, according to them, have not gotten any kind of response. If they haven't, I've never seen it. So maybe you have. But there's no response according to the paper. So the government is now obligated, yes, I say obligated, to launch an investigation, not just for the family of this young man, but for all of us, all Liberians, so that we will start filling in the gaps. Because these things affect the daily activities of Liberians. These things have been reported in the national papers. The international community has looking and reading. Secretary of State went to Sub-Saharan Africa. Liberia was not on that list. Liberia is very close to America than any other country in West Africa. They're not on our list. The Secretary of State is not visiting Liberia. He's visiting other countries and praising places like Angola for their stand on corruption. These people are not stupid. Okay. All right, Mr. George, I got you. Let's see. Hello? Okay. All right, I'll call you. Thanks for letting me know that you're ready. Can you hear me? Okay. He can. Okay, Mr. George, if you're listening, I got you. I know you're ready, and thank you for giving me a heads up on that. We appreciate it, and then we will pivot towards you here very shortly as soon as we're ready. So let me just continue, and as soon as the government launch this investigation and try to clear the air, the better it will be. Because guess what? Many of you that are in the government are just about the age of this young man. So even if he died out of natural death or disease, the government should be able to find people to do the investigation, come up with the cause of death, so that we can move out of this thing. It shouldn't take you long. Even the people will not. People, you say this, you come up with the result. Many people might not accept the result because there's so many times that you have come up with information that people turn out not to do fact check and it's not truth, and so it's difficult for people to believe you. Not in this type of situation. I'm just saying in general. Gas shortage. That's the recent one. Gas business what happened? You say no. You say you got total full of gas. Nothing sure in a place where you're making things off, or you're trying to undermine the government. You say, come to find out, you were short 3-point-something million. So you see, these are some of the things that as a government, when you want to make these things, be transparent as much as possible. So even if you get cut, but if you establish a record, a track record of being truthful, just 1 or 2 times, and but with the enemy told he said the truth, but yeah, he said something wrong. Okay, you don't deal with that. But when I listen to me, man, the people always lie. When they say the people always lie, when that thing gets stuck on you, you're done. So I just want to ask the government to please do us a favor and try to look into it. If there's anything in there, why was he brutalized? Perhaps he must have said something to some of the officers that didn't go well with them. And they too, as a human being, they took a stand. Who knows? I don't know. But if those things are happening, let people know. You can't be quiet on this, because it's not going to just go away. And hoping the truth will eventually come out without your involvement. They say he was beaten by state security. They didn't say he was beaten by Zogo. So let's move on. That's what I want to say on that. My next thing here is the 2023 election. And I've been reading a lot lately on the 2000. I agree, my brother. I agree. I mean, these things, something, like I said, young Liberians are sophisticated nowadays. And many of them, they're in law. Many of them, they're professionals. They know how to put paper together. You can't just smooth things over. No, they'll question you more. They will question you more. And the mere fact that the government sometimes don't come out to explain anything, and people they fill the gap for you. Okay? And when you do these kinds of stuff, I don't mean to go back onto that, but when you do these kinds of stuff, you get people who are sophisticated like young Liberian who are supposed to be in your corner. They question their own self. They question themselves. Why am I supporting this government when this government is not being truthful with us? Only those who are fanatic, turning sedition, they're the one who come out and start writing all kind of stuff. And sometimes when you look at their writing on Facebook, because I'm a Facebook junkie, to be honest with you, but when you look at some of the writing on Facebook and you're wondering, is this person real? I know what is happening in Liberia. I just saw the video on the same stuff you're talking about, and you're writing as though these things are not the way these people projecting them to be or sending them to be. And then people don't take you serious either. But I'm not going to respond to those. So let's go back to my point. The government of the Republic of Liberia, the leading party, the ruling, I almost said ruling Unity Party, ruling CDC party. First of all, folks, the 2023 election is going to be interesting. They're already starting with the 2020 senatorial election, but the coalition, from all indication, if they go back to their retreat and don't put things together, Liberty Party and all the opposition will be laughing all the way to the bank. Take it from me. We will be dancing in Monrovia. We will win y'all. We will win y'all. If you don't put yourself together, and what we're reading now, if those things become real, we will win the opposition, because with the opposition, they're coming together. We will win. Let me tell you now, that our time to eat too. Sam Santo. No, folks, on a very serious note. So quite recently, I mean, you're not stranger to this thing here. So I've been playing you some video. The interview the vice president had with Ronnie Shea, Front Page Africa. Most of the information here too, also from Front Page Africa. And then the devil edge, so I call him. One day he on your side, another day he not. If you do wrong, he come in. You do right, he for you. And so a few months ago, he was on a Crumpio bike. I turned against him right away. Nah, I for him again because he's not on our bike. But that's what a journalist is supposed to do. You don't take side, and Ronnie Shea never took side, as far as I'm concerned. Sometimes he will say something about my group, and I get very angry. And yeah, I do. I get angry. But then before you look, it's okay. But the people they do this to the people they do, then he's like, okay, well, thank you. So anyway, so according to report, the interview didn't go down well with CDC and seditions. And you heard that young man on the radio insulted the vice president, called her names, which I'm not going to repeat here. And not one single person from the CDC hierarchy to make comment, to say, besides being a politician, she's our sister. Besides being a politician, she's the mother of Liberia. And I just told you guys here 2 days ago, they with me, the kind of thing they go through as a woman in a society, especially society like ours. And then you're going to stand in public to insult a woman. Then first of all, you're not serious. And then secondly, it's between you and your God. Because if you sit down and insult woman, whether she wrong you or not, it's between you and your God. Woman wrong you, you turn your back. You say, I'm going the other way, I don't want no trouble. But instead, the young man went on a national, on the international media's platform and insulted the vice president. And nobody said anything. But here's what I've been watching lately. They say young man, he's so cool now. that you pour ice on fire. Why is that? I don't know. I don't know. Immediately after that, the treatment that she made reference to during her interview, Cyril Allen, who is the chairman, former chairman, eminent chairman, they call him chairman, came out and made a statement and say the vice president, she is not your hand-picked somebody, and secondly, you need to respect her. And then he made a statement: we are not weak. That's the NPP. Okay, that's the party for Charles Stiller. All right, National Patriotic Party. Said we are not weak, but they are part of the coalition that is leading. You think those kinds of behavior, the kinds of treatment that she has been getting from this government, her own government, you think that thing will go down well with them? No. And that's why I've been saying, if the opposition can harness those type of energy and bring it for us as an opposition, we'll win. In fighting, let me tell you one little story about me again. Samson told. I used to live in the barracks. So at night, in the barracks, in the middle of the barracks, where the people can do RI and the army building, in the middle, they have a field over there. Sometimes they let the grass grow so they can practice their war game, that small little sand area. They serious. They thinking no more like what 2,000 by 100, 2,000 by 1,500 feet wide. Then they practicing war games. But when they're doing it, when they're ready those days, you can't go on the field. You go there, they will arrest you. I don't care how small you are. By the way, at night, then that place become ours. Those are all the boys that live in the BDC area. So at night we used to go wrestle. And there was this young guy, tiny little kid. They call him Sa. Gizzy Boy. They call him Sa. So I will wrestle everybody. I throw everybody down. I say, Blaku, you want to throw me down? Big, you have from Totan, you want to throw me down. By the way, this young man, my age group now, this young man, one day, he said, Samson, the day you turn fool and say you want to wrestle me, I'll make Eep saying the player. I said, me, sir, you able? He said, okay. So that particular night, I challenged him. So he and I got into it. I went, shoulder to shoulder, and I grabbed his short pants because all I wanted to do was to give him a hip. So when you grab somebody, you put him on your hip. Oh, look at Samson to Aredo wrestle right now, folks. Wow, a bad boy, still a bad boy. I'm turning in the chair. I can't even walk anymore. I don't want to put somebody on my hip. First of all, at this age, if I put somebody on my hip, I'm in the hospital the next day. But anyway, so Sam and myself went around, I put him up. And I put him on my hip and tried to turn him over. So he allowed himself to be turned over. But from the time I put him up in the air, before we would hit the ground, I was at the bottom. I couldn't believe it. Because I knew I had him. Because anytime I put somebody on my hip, you're gone. So I said, let's do it again. Because at that time I was angry because I was being embarrassed. So we did it the second time. Blue went around, same situation, put him on my hip, tried to go. Before I look, I was on the ground. So I said, okay, I'm not going to do it again. Let me ask you, why? So he told me, he said, Samson, you always have the tendency here, when you putting people on your hip, your left foot, you plant your left foot. So when you put your right foot and that person in the air, the left foot is also coming up. So by the time we got up, I knew all I had to do was to make sure by the time we got on the ground, you were on a knee. I use your strength against yourself. So I said, oh, okay, now you tell me not to do it again. He said, we'll do it again, you'll go down. I said, let's try again. I don't want to call names here because some of the people are still alive, but I will call a few names. One of them, they call him Peterball, and there's so many those days. There's so many Peterball. I'll not call it real name. Another one. If I call that name, the people will know who he is. I will not call his name. He's from Lofa County. And then another one, he's a general's son, but he used to play for Barrow, tall guy. I will not call his name. He know who he is from the barracks. And then there was another few Crown boys. I'm not going to call their name. One of them is in Paris right now. He played football for Barrow for a very long time. I'm not going to call his name. They were all there. But anyway, so we went round the second time, same situation. The point here is this. If CDC and the coalition continue to fight among themselves, like I see what's happening, we will enjoy it. Because we will use their own strength against them, and we will whoop them. I'm giving it to you as it is. I'm just giving it to you as it is. So we went out, okay, and let's read that. So the Sarah Allen was upset, and he decided to go and protect their sister, and he did that. So recently, CDC and Maluba Malu decided their retreat. They're gonna have a retreat. And I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying because they're giving us more material. And I say us. I'm a member of Liberty Party. If you don't know, Liberty Party USA. Not Liberty Party Liberia because they don't know me. Liberty Party USA. I'm a member. They sack me. They fire Phyllis Wine fire me. Maybe Phyllis Wine after they show you something to don't call our party again. Not part of that's fine. If that happens, I will announce it. But it ain't happening yet. So anyway, so quite recently, the CDC were about to have their retreat, and it was a very high-profile retreat for them. Of course, they called it off because of the gasoline mess anyway, on false error brought on by themselves. But anyway, before that, they decided they were going to print T-shirts and print hearts and things on it. And guess what it did? All of the T-shirts that I've seen, they only have Dr. Weah picture. You're calling for a retreat. They didn't force you into this marriage. You got into this marriage knowing fully well who these people are. And they decided to print T-shirt without the vice president picture. Not only that, what do you expect Liberians to think? Quite recently, Maluba Molo is on audio saying how they want to get rid of the vice president. Quite recently, on audio also, there was another audio from the superintendent of Bond County, how upset they were, the CDC hierarchy were with the vice president. And now you're going to go to retreat and print out a T-shirt that's supposed to display unity among you. But I'm enjoying it. I'm not advising you to stop. I'm advising you to continue. Just don't bring violence among yourself, but continue to have these kinds of a split among you. That's good. We can exploit that, and we will enjoy it. No question asked. But on a very serious note, the vice president, she was elected vice president of my country. And so she's my vice president until we whoop you guys 2023. She's still my president. Dr. Weah is my president. I respect both of them. But you cannot treat her. She's my vice president. So from that perspective, I don't like the kinds of treatment she's getting. Okay? So by you treating the vice president the way you guys are doing, I'm not too happy. But then you say, who are you, Mr. Who cares? That's fine. I like that statement. Oh, I enjoy it. That's good. You brought in this lady, and she brought in some vote for you. Because apparently you didn't have no confidence in yourself to win it outright without having some sort of a coalition with this lady and her people. And so you decided to give her a high profile position. Whether people agree or not, you did. And because of her involvement, you were able to take state power. Now you're going to try to push her away. Don't make no sense. And they're not stopping. The NPP, they're not going to let you guys forget these things. So quite recently also, I just show you this. Go, maybe they already printed some more t-shirt with a vice president picture now. That's fine. If that's the case, that's fine. And we like that. Okay? So quite recently, all right, the NPP, National Patriotic Party, decided to warn the coalition. I love it when I do that. They decided to take a shot across the bow of CDC. And they're telling the sedition, the area we already have an incumbent senator, don't even think about it. You better go find somewhere else where you can try to bring somebody who want to be a senator. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Because if you do that, if you say that to the people, the hierarchy, and you're telling them, don't bring anybody where we already have people. We don't want you coming in here and try to bring another candidate in here. NPP want coalition. Not want people from Town. He said Town. They say NPP wants coalition members of filling candidate against NPP incumbent during midterm senatorial election. Oh, I love it. I love it. So what are you going to do now? Because of this split, they're not even having a meeting with you. They want to have a not confrontation, but a public warning. Public warning. And you call, you say, man, come here. That kind of warning. Now, with this kind of stuff, like I said, I'm enjoying it. To be honest with you, I'm enjoying it. I just hope they don't turn to violence, because then I'm not going to enjoy it anymore. As long as they remain politics, I'm enjoying it. Because in the mix of this, you expect these people to go have a retreat. Oh, I like to be the fly on the wall when they're having that retreat. The food will be better in all of your mouth. Even the chicken soup they were putting in the soup side will be better in all of your mouth. It will be something else. So just imagine. Let's play some game here this afternoon. It's Monday afternoon, so who cares? Let's play a little game here. So then I'll take the lead of the game. So here we are. Let's consider ourselves all member of the coalition. We're having a retreat, because you can't say because the NPP make this kind of public warning, so therefore they're not part of the retreat. You can't say that. Unless you're going to say the retreat for CDC and Monu and his people. But what happened to the governing coalition? Are they not part of the retreat? Oh, because you got vice president picture now hanging on there. What are you going to say? They're part of the retreat. So let's play this. So the coalition, Samson Toe is part of the coalition. So what the conversation going to be happening? Oh, good afternoon, Mr. President. Thank you very much. I think you've been doing a wonderful, wonderful job. We hope you continue with it. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Madam VP. We appreciate it. But, Mr. President, we just told you guys the other day that we don't want anybody coming into the area where we have our senator. What do you mean by that? You're your own LIBERIA? You see what I'm going this thing? It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, but no, seriously. What do you think the kind of conversation going to happen? Because there are some member of CDC with ambitions to want to be senators, but they can't go because the NPP now warn them. Don't bring. They're not even. Look at this. Think about it. They're not even talking about primary. They're not going to even accept that notion of having a primary in those areas. So if you're somebody from that area where NPP already have an incumbent senator and you have some ambition to be senator, you better put that ambition on the bare year for a while. I love it. NPP say you got no chance. I love it. I love it. Now, here's the interesting thing. This part is not going to be fun as this. So some of the members, speculation from this point on, some of the members of the NPP that are working within the government will no longer be trusted. Will no longer going to be trusted by the CDC group. So with that kinds of juggling position, then we have the president quite recently went out to chastise sedition in Moserado County. That the kind of vexation vote they gave him, that was not the right thing to do, all kinds of stuff. I'm not going to play that video because that's for me, that's beneath the president. You want to talk to your group, that's not something that has to be made public. You know, because you don't try to rebuke a group that supported you that long. What was the reason? What was the reason? Why were they giving you vestation vote, as they called it? What was the reason? After the election, those people that gave you the vestation vote, they are stomach full every day, and then they say we're going to get there and get somebody else in here. What was the reason? You see, these are some of the things you people do. Then when things turn around, then you're surprised, because intelligence, it's not something you can buy in the store. You got to work for it. You got to come up with experience. Because if I was involved, let's find out why these people voted against us. Knowing fully well Moserado County is our backbone. Knowing fully well Moserado County is part of CDC. So what happened? Was it the candidate weak? Or they were voting against that candidate because of the leadership that we have in power? What happened? You're not asking that question. You're just making a conclusion now without looking to see what happened. The vestation vote, you might not do it again. What happened? How did it get to that point? And as long you don't ask these kind of questions, you will continue to make the same mistake. And this is the difference. Because after 12 years in the wilderness, you would think CDC will have all of these areas covered. Have a committee, grievance committee. Now you're fly by night grievance committee that just there, oh, you did it in the Monuba, you wrong. That's not that kind of thing I'm talking about. You go to each of the precincts or each of these districts that CDC is in control. Yesterday, brought somebody else in CDC backyard, in CDC county. Why? So you go and investigate. As a party, you go and take note. Go to each of the community. And one of the good things about Liberia, with all of the flaws that we hear and read about, one of the good things about Liberia, even mosquito catcher said, they got organization. So every little trade that you can think about in Liberia has organization. And it has leadership. So it's very easy to conduct a serious fact-finding mission. The fact-finding process that is going to be conducted is very easy to do that because you know who to target your activities towards. And they will tell you, even if it take you 3 to 4 months, go from each district. What happened? Don't send people like something told them you're turning sedition. Oh, did I say something told turning sedition? Oh, people are not seeing this. Oh no, The people fini catching me today. Hey, yeah, man, I fini. So I'm telling this edition. Folks, I'm just having fun this afternoon. It's Monday afternoon. Why not? No, on a very serious note. So you go and find out what happened. Why is it that these people turn against us? But you haven't done that. You come up with a conclusion that they turn you term their vote as being infestation, as though they go. If you're not careful, they're not coming back. Because if people like Dallas Dillon continue to do good for that area, they're not coming back. They will not come back. Okay? So, quite recently also, yes, the interesting thing, and like I said, I'm not a member of CDC, and I'm enjoying whatever. They just do not, I don't want them to turn into violent. No. Then all my laughing and stuff would turn to tears, and I don't want that. Okay? So, quite recently, we read quite recently that the member of the opposition, they've been having their own issue, and I Sam Sinto been saying it for a very long time, that if these people are not able to put themselves together, and if they think they're going to go as an individual, we are in CDC will eat their lunch. So apparently they've been listening. And on a very serious note, they know that they're going to have to face CDC head on as a unit. If you go against CDC with two parties against CDC, Joshua will flock you. But if you go with one single standard bearer against CDC and Dr. Weir have no standing. Except, let me say this again, 2 years or so before the election, Josh Weir and his people, they're not stupid, folks. These people are very intelligent as well. Josh Weir and people most likely will come out with some sort of a project that will be impactful to the lives of many Liberians. Say, oh, but what are you making noise for? Look what the man just did. Look at your life. Hopefully, people like the finance minister will be gone by then. So, but if they don't do that and they continue to be behind the curveball, so to speak, and they continue to come after the story has been infiltrated by people and making up things and stuff to the Liberians against them, and then they come out. So, oh, we're not like this, we're not like that, we're not like this. Then they have serious problem. I give you an example. I just talk about gasoline issue here. I didn't spend much time about how many dollars the Liberian government spent to get gas in the country. They did. But that's not the important part of the story. In anything, in any news, man by door, as Alfonso So would say, that's the news. Door by man, that one that happen all the time. Who cares for it now? So by the Liberian government going out to purchase gasoline to relieve the problem that they brought on themselves. Should I make that man leave? Far from it. I'm not going to do that. Because there's no reason for them to have even gotten to that point. So there's no way now I'm going to say we give them credit. No. Every Liberian consider what they did as being part of their responsibility. In fact, many Liberians were considered by Dr. Weir and his people purchasing the gasoline to say, yeah, now you're supposed to do that in a long time. But yet still, many Liberians don't even believe that there's a leakage according to the story. Many Liberians don't believe that the gasoline will just evaporate overnight. No, there's other sinister motives according to many Liberians. I can't dare into that because that's not what I do. But I'm just telling you. So that's not the issue. And if, as long as CDC and Dr. Weir and his people continue to be behind the ball and not ahead of the story, we'll get them. So if these people you see up there, if they truly put themselves together and forget about just forget about themselves for once and say, well, let's do this for the country, then I think they stand a chance. But the question now is, even if they do agree, their characters, these 4 individuals, their character, they have a very strong characters. It's going to be a very interesting thing how they're going to hold together until election. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be the only way that I see them holding together, if they continue to have monthly meeting among themselves. Because the circuit, from this 4 individual, the circuit will be fighting among themselves here within the next 2-3 months. Believe me, they will be fighting among themselves here within 2-3 months. The story today that is out there is that these people have agreed on certain things that must happen. And they will hopefully be making an announcement here very shortly, according to the story. And if that's the case, then yes, Liberians need to be happy a little bit. But the sad thing is, these 4 individuals, I doubt it if this thing gonna hold. I doubt it. Because in order for them to hold together as a group, as a unit, they're going to have to break some of their whatever you want to call it. They're going to have to give. And are they prepared to do that? Are they prepared to say, okay, let me sit back, let the guy shine a little bit, and then you shine among the Liberian people to showcase yourself? Because basically that's what they're going to have to do. Because each of them have the ambition of being president. So the way it's going to have to happen, my opinion, is to have each of these individuals to shine for 4, 5, 6 months. Let them explain themselves. And everyone else be quiet. Or you support that person in his explanation. But at the same time, you also be truthful with the Liberian. That he's an individual. He's showcasing himself. You judge him. After 6 months, then that person calm down. Then the next person go showcase themselves. Until all 4 of them can do that. Because once that happens, then you give Liberians the opportunity to now gauge all 4 and say, okay, among these people, we're going to do the, and I think they make reference to that in here. They call it collaboration or political. No, that's not it. They call it certain name here, certain process here. Voter perception survey, they call it. I forget about that big English. I say showcase, voter perception survey. Okay, that means the voter gonna have to look at them. But how do you look at them? If they both, all 4 of them on the same stage, how do you weigh them? You will have to, and this is the interest. That will be a kabuki dancing. It will be interesting. I will be on this show and I will be making some fun because the dancing, the kabuki dancing is going to be so interesting. Do you see Cummings for 6 months allow Madam Kanka normally to shine for 6 months? And then after shining for 6 months, do you see now the good madam to say, okay, I'm stepping aside a little bit. I got other personal issue. I have other government business that I want to attend to. Now it's coming time to shine. Can you see that really happening? So let's go back to the term they use here. Let's go back to the term they use. Voter perception survey. How's that going to work? Are they going to go do survey to say all 4 of us, which one of us here you like brown people like? No, that's not what's going to happen. I bet you they're going to follow pretty much what I just explained, because that's the only way the voter will be able to engage them individually. So now they will come out again. This is going to be difficult to hold, because people like Alexander Cummings are going to say, Dr. Baka he has advantage already. He has a name recognition because he was vice president for 12 years. So people know him already. He doesn't need to come out and I'm just giving it to you as it is. So then you want to say, okay, if Cummings come out and say that, of course he could be right. Because Dr. Baka has been vice president for 12 years. He's well known in the whole entire country. So that's fine. So people have engaged him already. But does that mean he shouldn't shine too? I love it when I do that. But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. So according to them, they will go through the process. In fact, they're going to start that with the senatorial candidate now. Okay, but in terms of they said they will go through the process, and then 2 years before the election, they will come out with a standard barrier. Oh my goodness, this is going to be if they can hold on and come to that and select a standard barrier. The CDC, they just need to pack all their Satoka and then they leave town before the election even start. If these 4 people will come with one person as a standard bearer, CDC just pack all your Satoka and then say, well, your 10 girl will go on. Don't even wait, because you stand no chance. None whatsoever. None whatsoever. I'm willing to eat crow if I'm wrong. But I'm not going to do like that one guy did. He walking on his knee. You see what I do here? You see what I do here? Just win election in the player. I will walk like they on my knee from here to. That's not what I do here. That's not what I say. That's not what I say. I will eat crow. Bring the crow. I will eat it with a feather too, if you want me to. So, but anyhow, the main interesting thing here that I'm saying here this afternoon is these people. There are 2 things I'm putting forward to you as an intellectual. I do not expect these people to come out and hold together for that long. From here to the 2 years they're talking about, it's too long. It's too long. They will not hold. Number 1. If they hold, and I'm also saying, on the other hand, if at all they're able to hold, how do they hold? They can only hold if they decided to have a monthly meeting, because their surrogate, some of the people I know, some of their surrogate, I know them. They're not going to put up with foolishness. So it's going to be interesting. Samson told LeBron Pablo, let me take this few break here, and I will be back into less than a minute. Let's take this commercial break, and we will be right back. Samson told LeBron Public Radio.
Hello, how you doing? This is Uncle Musa, the owner of Uncle Musa Grocery in Philadelphia. The first store is Uncle Musa Grocery, Philadelphia, 6523 Wallen Avenue. And Uncle Musa Urban Faction, 6519 Wallen Avenue. And Uncle Musa Grocery, 804 Gary Road, Upper Darby, Philadelphia. We carry all African products, food, clothing, mostly Liberian food. If you need anything from Liberia, just call Uncle Musa Grocery. You can go to Google. If you just say Uncle Musa Grocery, Google will take you ahead to show you where to get us. So whatever you need from Liberia, if you go to any Uncle Musa Grocery, we will make sure you get what you want. And if you want to send rice to Liberia, we will send rice to Liberia and deliver to your family. They don't need to pick it up. And if you decide for them to pick up to our store in Monrovia too, we have a store in Cow Factory. You can pick it up there, but mostly we deliver rice to your family member, and we send money to Liberia. All over the world, we send money. So welcome to Uncle Musa Grocery anytime. I'll make sure all my workers and myself, we have a very good customer service. You'll be taken care of the way you want it. And we'll have a clothes from Dubai, India, and China. We carry all that. We carry lappers, very good lappers. Quality one from Holland. Whatever you want from Uncle Musa Grocery or Uncle Musa Home Infection,
yes,
you can get it.
This is Uncle Musa and
Thank you. Folks, Sam Central, LIBERIA Public Radio, I'm back. So let's go into this. And so I'm saying to you here this afternoon, folks, as an intellectual, think about it seriously. Am I wrong to have this kinds of feeling that this thing, if they try, it won't hold unless these people decide to have a monthly meeting among themselves. Every month they must meet. Because if they don't meet past 1 month, you heard Manuba Muller. And then the people say that liquor talk. But the people that have been working with these 4 individuals, they don't take nonsense. I know some of them, number one. And secondly, I don't see them telling their mean people to take second fiddle, to take back seat. That's going to be interesting. Because do you see anybody telling Dr. Bakar to say, you know what, sit aside, or Ormo Ure, sit aside, or Ormo Lawrence, sit aside, or Ormo Cummings, sit aside? It's going to be interesting. But they have one thing in common, and that is they continue messing up of the government by CDC. Because CDC, I mean, folks, I'm not against them. Yeah, of course, in next election, I don't want them to win, but I'm not against them because I don't ask them, I don't ask God or ask anybody or pray that they fail, because if they fail, then Liberia fail. Simple as that. Because these people were elected by my brothers and sisters, and I have to respect that, and I have to accept that, and I have to appreciate the effort, the work that they put into it. They didn't come through leadership through the back door. We all know that. However, I haven't given them the leadership of the country. They're shown to us so far that they're not quite ready, to be honest with you. Now, here I go again, Samson Toe. Yeah, you go again. You come back with CDC. Well, they were not disciplined, but they show how disciplined they were at that time. And you admit it. And I said, yeah, I'll eat crow. And I ate crow that time, but you were not there. You ate yet. But anyway, the point is, can you imagine? Oh, just forget about imagination. This is real. How many, issues? How many not conflict with in terms of fighting or something, but something about the government, their inability to function when it comes to something real. Let me name them what I know. You might know more or you might not know this. They started with a Chinese loan. That didn't happen. Controversial. It didn't happen. They started with a guy from Burkina Faso. It didn't happen. They started with Dr. We are breaking a house on 9th Street. People still wondering about that. They started with Dr. We are building all of the palaces in Liberia. People still wondering about that. They started with Dr. We are not being able to publicly declare his access for a very long time. And I bet you there are still some ministers that still have not been able to declare their access. Okay. They went on. There was a company that was supposed to bring electricity in Liberia. That would have been interesting, because with the port not being dredged, what were they going to keep that ship? Ooh, that would have been interesting. By the way, the ship issue, that didn't go well. That went out. They started with $16 billion missing. Interesting. We haven't gotten full report yet. If you did, I didn't. But then you say, Mr. To, who are you? Well, good question. They started with $25 million MAPA. We ain't got nothing yet. Okay? They started with so many things. Now there's a gas issue. Okay? Now we've also been reading lately that the government itself now thinking about doing some infiltrate about serious commodity like rice and sugar and all that kind of stuff. The shortage, what is the possibility? These are things, after 12 years, these are things you think they would have done and be able to have their finger on these things. It will not happen. We will make sure it don't happen. Why is it happening now? Do you see this leader, these leaders, to be honest, and I'm not trying to put anybody down, but let's be honest with ourselves. Do you see them maintaining high degree of performance until the election? That is the coalition, Dr. Weah and his people. Do you see them producing until the election? I mean, serious production that will impact the lives of Liberians. I'm hoping, and I'm hoping that they will be able to do that. So I thought that I throw this list out there. I'm not going to be here that long tonight. Let me now see if I can contact my man who's going to analyze all of the mumbo jumbo I threw out here tonight, and see if he can help me out. And that would be Mr. George, Amos George. Let's see if I can get him on here. Just bear with me. So while we're trying to wait for Mr. George, let's think about what I just told you and see how far you think we can go on that. Okay, let's see if I can contact Mr. George here a minute and see. Folks, Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio. Let's see if that's gonna go through here now, because he just contacted me not long ago. So let's see. I'm hoping that I'll be able to get Mr. George, and as soon as I do that, we will start bringing that up. We're not getting him, so okay. All right. Okay. Well, I told Mr. George if I can't do it on video, we can do it the old way. So let's go on, but the old way, and I don't have his picture. Well, folks, we're just starting, so just bear with us. Just bear with us. We will do the best here come Wednesday. I think we will have everything under control, because I was hoping to do the video with him, and so I didn't prepare myself not having the video. In the meantime, let me contact Mr. George and see if I can get him. Let him give us his view and see how far we're going to go with it. First of all, let me check this thing out. Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio, folks. Oh, okay. But, okay, I think. Okay, yeah, he is. Okay, yeah, he is. All right, okay, just bear with me here, folks. Samson to, okay, all right. Mr. George, can you hear me? No. So we didn't get the audio stuff straightened up. Mr. George, can you hear me? No. Okay, let me see here. Hold on. Let me see here. Let me call him on the radio, and on the hold on, folks. Samson told LIBERIA Public, just bear with me. Mr. George, are you there? Yes, okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Okay, we need to do one or two things here. Okay. Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Can you still hear me? Can you still hear me? Okay. All right, but your voice is kind of low a little bit now, so I will ask that you try to speak into the phone itself, and let's see how far we're gonna go. Folks, Samson to Live TV, we're doing the best. That's the best we can do. What do you expect? Please. You have to go a little bit louder than that, and try to bend the cameras towards the floor. Can you do that? Can you folks, Samson to? I'm on it here. Can you bend the cameras towards the floor? Because right now I can only see your face from the nose up. All right. Are you there? Okay. Okay. All right. You ready? Because the video is getting stuck and what have you. So okay, he's gonna do. Folks, it's interesting. It's interesting. What can I say? That's what we do here, like, bro. We got nothing to hide. We don't hide anything. We do it right before you, and then you yourself can see. Okay, Mr. Judge, can you bend it a little bit more? Can you bend the if it's the laptop, the cover of the laptop, like you bending it to, like you're getting ready to close it? Okay. Maybe too much. Okay. Up a little bit, open it up a little bit. Open it up. Good. Okay, right there. Hey, okay. All right. Go ahead. Open it just one more inch, little bit. Not quite well. Folks, Samson told La Pub Radio. Go ahead, open it a little bit. All right. Okay, now sit back. Here we go. Okay. Mr. George, thank you very much for I don't have your name and all that nameplate, that nothing like that. We're just trying it out here and see how far we're gonna go with it. I'm sure by Wednesday we'll be willing to go. That's folks. That's Mr. George. So, Mr. George, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. That's Amos George, folks. Can you still hear me? Okay, but you need to speak a little bit louder into the phone. Okay. Yeah, but it's still okay, go ahead. Can you hear me? Okay. All right. Yeah, I know you can hear me, but you speaking can you speak into the microphone itself or into the phone, whatever object you have? Are you there? Okay. All right. So I know you've been. Let's do this here. That's fine. By Wednesday we'll get it down packed, and then we'll be ready to go. So yes, it's just the audio that's what killing us right now. Yeah. Okay. All right. Go ahead. Can you, if you can hear me, go ahead. Make your point.
And
Yeah, but Mr. Josh, can you speak a little bit louder into the phone, because a lot of people can't hear anything you're saying, and I know you have. Yeah, I can hear you a little bit better, but you just speak a little bit into the phone without you bending over, though. So go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Mr. George, I'm sorry to interrupt, but apparently people are saying there's no sound. So let me take care of that. I'll keep you on here, but let me take care of that. Just hold on, don't go. Let me take care of it, and then I'll come right back to you, please. Okay, folks. No, your sign is fine, but let me take care of it. Okay, folks. Sam Sinto, LeBron Public Radio. While we're waiting, let's take a 1 or 2 minute commercial while I try to fix it.
When you do me, I do you. When you hold me, I hold you. When you touch me, I touch you. When you play me, I play you. Let me see you do. Do them, I cause.
The tax season is here again, and one thing you want is you don't want to go to people who will, a lot of the times we see in our community, they will mess your tax up and then they are nowhere to be found. So I mean, my records are there. All of my clients, they have never had any issues. So I'm available, like I said, throughout the year, and this tax season I'm ready to roll. You can contact me. My phone number is 267-265-7903, 267-265-7903. And my address where I do the business is 539 South 4th Street, Darby, PA 19023. 539 South 4th Street, Darby, PA 19023. And you can see my office is right here. Everything is set up, the computer, my printer, everything is set up. And since the tax season started, that's all I've been doing. And again, I do a lot for my clients. Like I said, I help them. Even if you have filed your taxes in the past with other people and you have had problem, and then your problem have not been resolved, and the IRS keep writing you, whole dollar letters, you can't understand what these letters are.
Hello, Mr. George, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, much better. Okay, go ahead. You don't have to talk to you don't even have to keep the phone closer to you anymore. Just go ahead and make your point.
Now, the issue there, so you see, the chairman and the secretary general of the MPP, they are not getting along with the vice president. And Dr. Allen spoke about it, that they are disrespecting the vice president, so he spoke about that. And he also warned CDC that they did sign some documents, and CDC should honor their commitment. But if any attempt by CDC not to honor no commitment, they will go to the election commission. And he further said that the vaccine was not handpicked. So, and she's not weak. So that is a caveat that the NPP is sending to the CDC-led government. And they told them further, hey, do not send anybody in the 3 senatorial seats that we have, do not send anybody in those areas to contend in that area, that is Maryland, Bombay County, and Bampuru. So those areas now is no-go zone for the CDC. And the rate is, if CDC continue on that path, they may eliminate the NPP supporters in some areas that will be contesting. And it's possible that those people will turn against CDC in those areas to vote for other political parties. So there's a very risk that the CDC is taking with, especially with the NPP. So the issue now, how can they work it out? Even if they come together to make up anything, the issue of distrust is already there with some supporter from the NPP to that of the CDC. So if this thing continues that way, I can see the CDC having a serious problem in the 2023 elections. I can see them having issue with it. I can see them having problem with that. So I think they really got to come back together to see what they can work. But I've seen very difficult, even with the retreat. The first time they printed the T-shirt, the vast majority were not even on the retreat. Now there are two dimensions to that. When the death families survived that thing, they did not lose their identity. They didn't give up the party identity. So probably Mobile Model from that angle was saying the retreat was only for CTC. On the other hand, but if you want a collaborating party, you have to blend everybody together. But I do not know from which angle Mobile Model was thinking or the party was thinking, trying to sideline the VP or the NPP. But then at the same time, he wanted both of them because he had the chairman of NPP and the secretary general with him. So if you have a problem, then why you cannot bring in the vice president? So the CDC want to have it both ways, and it will not work in that direction. So the caveat now is, what is the way forward for CDC and the NPP with this break that we're seeing now playing out there? Will President Weah be able to stir the weeds, or are they going to go solo? That is the $64,000 question that they have to answer. Because definitely, if they leave the NPP, then they must just forget about the 2023 election. They will not be able to even move anywhere because CDC cannot win Bond County. CDC cannot win Lufa County. CDC cannot win Maigiri County. CDC will not be able to win Grand Bassa County. Nema, I don't know because Frank Johnson is the kingmaker right now there. So once you say he goes with CDC, maybe the demand will follow. But those other counties that is highly densely populated areas, CDC will not be able to win anything in those areas. Just hold on, sir. Hold on 1 minute.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, folks. Okay, folks, Samson told LeBron Pop Radio. And so we are still waiting for Mr. George. These are live video, of course. And so sometimes things that are not quite in place are happening. So we're getting to it. But Mr. George is just giving us his view here this afternoon. And we will make this into a regular play here where we will have Mr. George to talk to us as much as possible. And we can also have other conversation with Mr. George. Mr. George, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. Let me see if I can straighten you back up. Okay. Hold on. Okay. All right, much better. Hold on 1 minute. Hold on. Are you comfortable now?
Yeah, I'm comfortable. Yeah. So are you okay now?
Once you said it, okay.
Yeah.
Are you ready now?
Yeah. So that is the issue right now.
Okay, hold on. Then lay the laptop like you're opening it some more, so we'll see. Okay. All right. Now sit down and let's see. Okay. All right. Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah. Now.
Okay.
So as I was saying, that is the issue.
Hold on. Let me. I still need to fix it. I still need to. Okay. Yeah, we are. Just hold on. All right. You ready? Go ahead. Go ahead.
So that is the issue now they are faced with. How would they solve this problem? But my advice to the CDC is to do everything to cement that relationship with the VP. Because if they don't do so, even in the senatorial race, they will have a serious problem before I talk about the presidential race. So that is my take on that. And I want to move on to something you just mentioned about the gas.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. The government was not forthcoming from the initial stage.
Right.
And they had no clue how they were going to solve this issue. Because for a month, Reagan reported that there was shortage of gasoline. The Minister of Commerce, Finance, the National Food Authority, NPA, all refinery, everybody came out and said there was petroleum in the country, enough petroleum. Later on, came out and said the minister said he was given missed numbers. That what they said was in the thing and what was reflected on the paper did not match up. So that resulted into the shortage. But the real hard truth here is that the gasoline are on lifting. That is the tank, the very gasoline that the supplier has or will have in the storage. They don't know, they don't monitor that. It's the FPRC that monitors those the quantity of gas in those tanks. So what they do, they will take, they say, okay, wow, yeah, we got 150,000 gallons. And X won 25,000. So they will take that 25,000 and give it to X. With the understanding between X and FPRC that when our product comes, we'll replenish whatever you took it from. And FPRC will not even inquire to know what our X has or X has ship coming in. No, they just lift it. And when they lift it, that product is sold and Y will not get the product replenished. And that way the word coming as a evaporate or the tank is leaking. Because the importer don't have any record. They don't have any record to track the storage. What is there on a daily basis? They don't have it. So it makes it difficult for importers to know really what they have in the reserve. But the policy, I think, during Harry Reason was set that every importer knew what quantity of fuel they had in the tank at the time. But I think when we are there, government came, they canceled that policy. So only LPRC know what each importer got in the reserve. And that makes it difficult for the importer to monitor, to know actually what is happening. And the issue that the gasoline, millions of gasoline will evaporate without no trace. And you know that this thing has a valve. So when there's a leakage, there will be a drop in the pressure gauge to tell you that there's something is wrong somewhere. And it didn't happen. So the report that we expecting to come out, nobody will be accountable for it. Let me tell the audience, nobody will be accountable for it. Because the government will not be able to come up with a full report to say if there was a leakage, where is it? How the gas evaporated? Or if it was leaking, Then what did you do to repair the tanks? And today, just a gasoline I came in was diverted to the LPRC terminal. So if the tanks were leaking, why you want to go put another fuel there? When you get a repair.
Jesus.
So these are issues that make the people uneasy, that the people don't trust the government because they don't come up with the information forthright to say, hey, this is what's happening. And moreover, it was Amin Yatta that initiated the gathering with the flow of gathering from Freetown because they had the manager said they had set a band thing that to negotiate with Freetown. But because the quantity that was involved, the trade minister said no, we cannot send the quantity across, then it would be like smoking, so it has to be government to government. It was when the WIA-led government stepped in, not because of 5 tankers. When the WIA-led government stepped in, they made it to 20 tankers. And the government took that engineer to pay. But that is to tell you, the lack of people with responsibility to function. You have a crisis within 1 month time. There were no fallback plan to say, hey, let us call Freetown or let us call Guinea or Ivory Coast. We're going 2 weeks and we're not getting on. Let us call these people to see whether they can sell them. No. It was a private businessman that initiated the process before the government coming in. So that is to tell you that there is a quarrel with the government in Liberia how to function. Now you saw people saying, oh, the government did everything. No. How will you say the government did everything when 1 month the government was sitting down there not doing anything? They didn't know where to turn. It was a businessman that negotiated before it reached that level. They said it has to be government, and that's when they came in. So these are the problems. It's personal. We are bringing competent people. They will not be having any kind of problem, Mr. Tool. The audience, they will not have this kind of problem. But it look like everybody don't know what they're doing. Because they were sitting down there waiting for a ship to death. For a ship to birth, they ship their birth today. So it means all up to this time there would have been nothing done. And when gasoline comes, when there's a shortage, it comes with security risk. Police people don't have gas to move. The hospital, ambulance is not moving. All these things affect. And then moreover, the revenue that the government has lost over the 3 weeks. How will you say that you're going to have a 1.4% GDP at the end of the year when this kind of revenue you lost in? How are you going to make up? So these are issues that the government person we need to really look at his ministers or lieutenants that he have around him. Are they ready for the tax? Because these are tests of time to show that the government is competent to do the work. But with all the lapses, then it tells you there is a severe problem with the government. And I think they need to look at this issue. And last, let me close on this topic. The chairman, the minister who is heading the investigation team today, said something that I was following him. He said that they want to start from 2017 up to the present to know what has been the cause of this problem. But the first thing I think, why are you going to 2017? 2018, 2019, and 2020. Why can you start from right there to figure out what happened? You didn't have gasoline shortage in 2017, but I think what they want to do is to deflect some responsibility to the past government to say, oh, this is where the problem started from 2017, and we were not in power, so we just took it. That's why they're going now. And what he said today, the FRC have been doing a good job, the port has been doing a good job, so they just need to make up to see whether the minor thing and think they can correct it. So from that point, I came to the conclusion that the investigation is just another waste of time. Nobody will be culpable. Nobody will be reprimanded. Nobody will be punished. And this is where we are leading to with this solution, the gas issue. The government was not forthcoming. And this is where the mistrust comes from, that the Liberian people don't trust the government because they don't put the information out there as it's supposed to be. It's like people are running a club. Jump on and say one thing today, tomorrow another person comes and say something today. It's not right. So the government, President Weah, need to look at this government and do some maybe reshuffling. Move some people around. If at all he is to succeed or to run the country, they have to do something much better than this. So that's my take on that, the issue of the gasoline. So where are we now today? Is the problem being solved? No. The fuel income is only for 30 days, according to the people. So what are the steps we're going to put in place to alleviate the suffering of the Liberian people? And you mentioned something about rice and things, sugar and things. There are rumors circulating that there must be shortage of rice. And you know the problem with rice in Liberia. So where are we heading? And today, Honorable Yaga Koba wrote a letter asking the Cameroon minister to appear because they said they are increasing the price of 50 cents again. And in that communication, he mentioned that they had dropped the tariff. So while there's an increase in the price of rice, he wants to know whether that letter will be taken up by the speaker to bring the minister coming back to answer. I don't know. But that's another sticky issue that is coming out. So we're waiting to see how that will play out.
Okay.
Is there any other thing you mentioned that I should touch on?
No, this is just like a test run here, and you and I gonna meet later on. Call each other later on to have a discussion. Maybe by tomorrow, after perhaps you're taking the opportunity to review this, and then maybe you and I can try to harmonize. You and I can harmonize our sequences here, and but no, on a very serious note, I want to thank you very much for your analysis. It is well, they're all well in place, and I hope that we will find a good reason here to continue to work like this together. We will try to fix the audio, the video, and everything else. This is the first run. Hopefully by Wednesday, we'll try to improve on a little bit, whatever it is here. But I want to thank you very much for your analysis. Thank you. That was Mr. Amos George, who has agreed to analyze our topic here tonight. And I want to thank him. And we also want to thank all of you guys that have been watching. Thank you, Mr. George. We appreciate it, sir.
Okay, and I just want to say thank you and to the audience. And I want you to please follow this story. I think it's breaking. The Solicitor General has been accused by another lawyer in the Ellen Corcoran case that he should recuse himself and even has violated the ethics because he was once started representing Ellen Corcoran.
Right.
As a legal practitioner. So now the lawyer that representing Ms. Ellen is asking Councilor Seaforth. In fact, he's recommending that he should be reprimanded, not even asking him. He's asking the bar or whatever body to reprimand Councilor Seaforth. Serena Seaforth, the Solicitor General. So we'll be following our story maybe during the week.
Okay. All right. Hopefully we'll pick up from there by Wednesday. But thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Again, folks, Sam Sinto, LeBron Public Radio. That's Mr. George, who have agreed to stay with us here this evening to give us an analysis of what is happening. Hopefully, we will be able to do this from time to time and have folks who perhaps have interest in doing analysis for us will call him and we will do a video conferences with them and so that we'll be able to have some your input as well. Hopefully we will try to improve on whatever it is that some of the stuff that we have here. When we notice some shortcoming of the process, and we will try to have our technician to view and make comments. So hopefully by tomorrow, my inbox will be filled up, and then we will try to readjust, and do whatever we can to make sure these processes are in good faith, of course, but we will also try to do our best to improve what we need to improve on. Having said that, we want to thank all of you. Let's go ahead now and then open our line as usual. Let's open the line up for folks to give us a call here. And if you're willing, give us a call here. The number is up there, 916-533-2048. And give us your take on what has we put out here tonight, and so that we can all have part to play and contribution to be made. And we're waiting, and we will listen to you and see how far we go. In the meantime, though, let's do this. Sam Sinto, LIBERIA Public Radio. I know it's Monday afternoon here, even though it was a holiday, but we're getting ready to shut it down and say good night to everyone who's been participating here tonight. We're very grateful to have all of you here again tonight watching. We appreciate it. We will go ahead and take leave of you here tonight because Monday afternoon, folks have to go to work tomorrow morning. And tomorrow, please tune into Mr. Soul Show, where he will be able to give you some wonderful news from Liberia. Of course, we will be back on Wednesday. And Mr. Toe and his people will be right back on Wednesday and be able to entertain you and also enlighten you, which is the part that I like the most, the enlightening part. It's a wonderful, but folks, no, I'll keep this one for Wednesday. I'll keep it for Wednesday. So anyhow, thank you for tuning in tonight. We want to thank you. Hopefully by Wednesday we will have some of the issue with the video and the audio and all kind of. First of all, I apologize for the first segment of Mr. George's presentation. The audio was in there. What I didn't realize is that my connection went bad, and so it was my fault. It wasn't Mr. George's fault. So But we will do the best we can by Wednesday. Try to bring some decent stuff as you always expecting out of Liberian Public Radio, and we will do our best to fulfill that. And with that, I will say thank you very much and good night to all of you. Please stay safe and let us continue to pray for one another. It's very important. Very important. Samson told Liberian Public Radio, thank you very much and good night, folks.
kurke basoko. Zakati ko kwada munyo basoko.